Babe, Netflix is broken.
Dad, seriously.
I'm so mad.
Just fix my game.
Chuck,
It won't connect.
the network's down.
I clogged the toilet again, man. I really need this thing to flush.
I would normally stress about this, but n8n manages my Homelab.
Yay! It works!
Did you just see that? My new AI employee, Terry, fixed everything before I could even start trouble. No, Terry, no, don't optimize, quit, cancel, Terry, no! Okay, so that right there, that's Terminator Terry, and we're going to avoid that at all costs. So in this video, we're going to build your very own super intelligent AI agent, AKA your new IT employee. It can monitor, it can troubleshoot, and even, with your explicit permission, fix things in your network and Homelab. Get your stinky coffee ready. Let's try and avoid Skynet. In part 1, we built Baby Terry with n8n. He was okay, he could monitor your websites, but he definitely could not troubleshoot your Homelab at 3 a.m. Let's change that. Welcome to employee onboarding. First day, fresh pot of coffee. We're gonna give our AI agent access to real tools. The ability to actually connect to things in our Homelab and network so it can monitor, troubleshoot, and yes, even fix stuff. Now I'm talking UniFi, Proxmox, Plex, your NAS. If it has a CLI or API, Terry can handle it. But hold on, we're gonna treat Terry like a new hire. You don't give the new guy root access on the first day. You gotta build that trust. It won't be long. Give him a few cups of coffee and he'll be unstoppable. Unstoppable. Anyway. Now before Terry gets to work, we gotta set him up properly. And even though he's an AI agent powered by n8n, he still needs a home, he needs a desk. You got two options for this, think carefully. Option 1, you can put him in your Homelab. Terry's in the house. I show you how to do that right here, but the downside is that if your Homelab goes down, so does Terry. That's why I like the option of putting Terry in the cloud. A self-hosted n8n instance on the hosting your cloud. I love this option for 2 reasons. First, Terry's immune to my tinkering. 2, this is so crazy easy to set up. Wait, hold on. You don't have an n8n instance? Let's fix that right now. By the time I'm done sipping this cup of coffee, just taking 1 sip, you're gonna have one. Ready, set, go. All right, first head out to hostinger.com/ncn8n or check the link in the description. Choose your plan. KVM2 is perfect. Look at those muscles. Yes, I am purposely moving in slow motion right now for this bit. Enter coupon code networkchuck and magic happens. Continue. Enter your stuff. Yes, this is pretty dumb, but you're still here. Create a root password, say yes to a free malware scanner, take a quick coffee break while I'm sipping mine, click on Manage VPS, and then click on Manage App, and finish your setup. And then you're good to go. Done. And thank you to Hostinger for making this video possible. Terry now has his desk in the cloud. Now the hacker move is to have Terry use Twingate to securely connect back to your network at your house or your business. This way Terry can reach your Homelab securely 24/7. And he's up even when your Homelab isn't. I'll show you what that looks like later. Okay, day 1, Terry's gonna learn how to monitor and troubleshoot. It's a big day for Terry, I'm excited. Here we are, n8n. Let's create a new workflow right up here at the top. And then we'll add our first step. We'll make that a manual trigger. And then we'll add one more node, our AI agent. AI and AI agent. Don't do anything just yet, click out of there. And here is our starting point. Man, Terry's gonna be so smart. Actually, let's make him smart. Let's give him a chat model, an AI model. I'm gonna choose ChatGPT. You have a lot of options for this. For more info on how to set this up, I got it all covered in my first video. I'm going ChatGPT with the 4.1 mini model. It's very fast. And then for memory, so it doesn't forget what we're talking about, we'll add some simple memory right there. Perfect. Now to teach Terry, we're gonna give him a few simple tasks. First, make sure this website is up. That's it. What website? We're gonna make one real quick. Just a test one, so we can walk through it together. We're gonna throw this website inside a Docker container on the same n8n host we're working on right now. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's totally cool. I'm gonna walk you through it right now. Now, if you followed along with me on Hostinger, we're gonna go back to our VPS panel, and you'll see a button for Browser Terminal right here at the top right. Go ahead and click on that. If you're hosting somewhere else, what you wanna do is get CLI access to the server that's running your n8n instance. And here we are, home sweet home, the terminal, my favorite place to be. And we're gonna run 2 commands. First, we'll copy and paste this. I'm gonna have all the commands below. This will run a simple website on port 8090. Ready, set, go. Then we'll run this docker exec command. We're just adding a nice h1 header to our website. Hit enter and we'll do a docker restart website. That's the name of our container, by the way. And now it should be ready. Let's test it out real quick. I'm going to grab the IP address of my server, open up a new tab, paste that in and type in :port 8090. Perfect, we have a website. Now hold on one second. I want you to stop and think, how did you make sure that website was up? What did you do? When you're like, Chuck, all I did was take the URL, open up a new tab, and made sure it looks good. That's what we're gonna do with Terry. We're gonna teach him to do that. And that's gonna be a common thread throughout this video. You're gonna think about how you would monitor something, how you would troubleshoot something, how you would even fix something, and then show Terry the same process. I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy, and it feels kind of like we're training another human, but it's AI. It's weird. Anyways, just gotta stuff those thoughts down. Can't dwell on that. Now for Terry to visit a website, we gotta give him a tool right here. So we're gonna add a tool to his tool belt. This will be the HTTP request tool right here. It'll pop open for us, and we're gonna change a few parameters. First, I'll just rename it. I'm gonna call it website tool. And then here in the description, I'll just say what he's supposed to use it for. Use this tool to see if the website is up. And we'll paste in our URL right here. Let's do a little test to make sure it works. Execute step, and there we go. It returns the data that we saw. So Terry has a tool. Let's tell him how to use it. Let's tell him who he is, actually. Let's open up Terry, and we're gonna give Terry an identity so he doesn't have a crisis. We're gonna click on add option, and then system message. This is also referred to as his system prompt. I'm gonna paste in this. Again, I'll have all this below. Essentially, I'm telling Terry who he is. He's an IT administrator. He has one job, make sure the website is up. And I'm telling him how to use the tool and how to report back to me if the website is up or down. That's it. Let's try it out. So I'm gonna open this chat message here. By default, the AI agent's gonna have a chat message or a chat box attached to it. That's how he's triggered. And I'll say, hey Terry, is the website up? And watch what happens here. He's gonna think about it. He's gonna use his tool, you saw that, and he's done. And there's our message. The website is indeed up. And he did what we would do. He visited the website. Now let's make it go down. Let's see what happens. We'll go over here to our terminal, and I'll say docker stop website. If I type in docker ps, I'll be able to see that my server is not running, because right now we only have n8n running in our traffic container. Those are supposed to be running, don't touch those. Terry can't fix that yet. Now let's run Terry. I'm gonna reset my chat session and say the same message. Hey, Terry, is the website up? Ooh, and it's down. Okay, cool, but why is it down? What would you do to troubleshoot this? Well, we know that it's a Docker container running on this server. We go over here and start doing things like, I don't know, docker ps to see if it's running. Let's show Terry how to do that. Let's teach our new employee how to log into a server and check if a Docker container is running. For that, we're gonna need a new tool, the SSH tool, giving our AI agent the ability to log into servers via CLI. That is so stinking powerful. Coffee break. Oh, also don't forget to save every once in a while. You don't wanna lose your work. Now there's one annoying thing here though. If I click on add tool, and I'll go over here to search, there's no SSH tool. I got a workaround, don't worry. Instead of adding a tool, we're gonna add a new node. So hit that plus sign at the top right here. Search for SSH. Notice there is an SSH node. Click on that, and we'll choose the execute a command option. Now immediately we're thrust into the SSH node configuration. Let's go ahead and make this happen right now. Let's configure it. I'll select my credential, which we're not gonna have one yet. Let's click on create new credential. Here, all you're gonna do is put in the credentials for your server. And for our situation right now, it's gonna be the host server where n8n lives. I'm gonna give it the external IP address here as the host, taking away all the HTTP and bracket stuff. Port 22 is good. Username will be root, and then password is one I set when I set up hosting here. Click on save. It'll test the connection. Good to go. And then we have our command field. Let's test it out real quick. We'll do a simple command like hostname. Click on execute this step, and cool, it works. Hostname is this guy right here. I'm gonna remove the hostname because we're not quite done, because right now our AI agent has no way to use this node. It needs to be a tool, but right now it's just a standalone node. Let's change that. If I hover over this SSH node, I'll see some dots right here. I'm gonna click those. And I'll choose the option convert node to sub workflow. Watch what happens. Boom. Nothing crazy. It's like, rename this please. We're gonna call this SSH underscore n8n server. Confirm. That's it. Now what did that just do? It's like you put on a new suit, some new clothes. It actually converted this SSH node into its own workflow. So let's actually save this workflow. Go back to personal over here on the left. We now have two workflows, the one we were working on and the one we just created with the SSH node. Let's jump in there. Ah, look at that. Now while we're here, we're gonna do a couple things. First, we'll connect the start node to our SSH node. Then we're going to edit the start node. Just double click that real quick. And we'll change the input data mode from accept all data to define using fields below. And then we'll click on add field. For name, we're gonna type in command. The type will be string, and then click on execute step. Right now it's gonna be nothing, null. That's fine though. Click out of that, and then go to your SSH node right here, double click that, and we're gonna do one thing. Notice here on the left, we have our start node as input, and then that command string that we created. We're gonna drag that over right to the command field. Perfect. Now, what did we just do? What is all that? What we did is made it possible for Terry to use this workflow, and he's gonna fill in that command variable we made with whatever command he wants. So let's say he wants to say hostname. That is what's gonna be fed to this execute a command SSH node. Let's test it out. We're gonna save this workflow, go back to our original workflow, and first let's remove this sub workflow right here. It's not going to delete it, it's just gonna remove it from our current workflow. And then we'll add a tool for Terry, and the tool we're gonna use is call n8n workflow tool. And then down here at the bottom, we'll have our workflow, and we have a choose option or a choose drop-down box. We're gonna click on choose, and choose our SSH n8n server, the one we just created. And notice we're immediately given the option to say, which command do you want to run? Well, getting back to our example, we want Terry to see if that Docker container is running the same way we would check. So let's have him run docker ps. That's our command. And then also one more thing, I'm gonna change the name of this tool to Docker tool, so Terry knows what to use. Done. Just gonna move things around, make it clean. And now let's tell Terry how to use the tool. Again, I'll have all these prompts below. We're gonna double click on Terry, and we're going to copy and paste this in. Now, pretty much the same story as before. We're telling Terry he can use the website tool to check if the website is up. He's actually looking at the website for network chuck coffee header. But then we're saying, hey, the website is down. See if the container's up. That's it. Let's get out of there and save. And then let's see if Terry can check it out for us. Hey, Terry, is the website up? Watch Terry go. Checks the website, uses our Docker tool. Ah, look at that. So he's like, yeah, the website is down. Additionally, the container is not running in the list. Now think about what we just did here. We taught Terry how to troubleshoot like us. And yes, this was simple, but we're just scratching the surface. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to trust Terry a bit more. Let's give him some more power. So far, we have him pretty locked down to the one command he can run, that's docker ps. What do you say we let him choose? Watch this. I can jump back into that SSH tool, or the n8n workflow call tool. And here where it says command docker ps, let's not specify a command. Let's take that away and click this magic fairy dust button here that will say, let the agent decide what to set that variable to. Or in other words, let the agent decide what the command he'll run will be. I know, it's a bit more trust. I feel like I'm there. Now let's tell Terry about our new trust in him. Let's change his prompt. And we're gonna add a few more troubleshooting steps. Again, website down, run docker ps. But also now, maybe run a docker inspect command to see why the container is down. Maybe look at the Docker logs and see if there's anything weird. I mean, that's what you and I would do, right? Now we're teaching Terry. Let's try it out. Let's save, reset our chat session, and ask him one more time, hey Terry, is the website up? And watch this magic happen. And it's done. Notice a couple things real quick. He used the Docker tool twice for 2 commands. Let's see what he came up with. Website's down. He found the exit code for the container. It's 0. And let's see what commands he ran. So let's go to our logs down here. Click on Docker logs. He ran docker ps, and then he ran docker inspect. But he didn't run the logs. Did we tell him to? I thought we told him to. Let's be more specific. Always check logs. Let's try it again. Ah, he ran it 3 times. Good boy, Terry. See, he's learning. We're teaching him well. Recent logs, graceful shutdown, and exit messages. Terry, I'm so proud of you, employee of the stinking month. So dumb. But here is where Terry can become more powerful. He can do what a human can do. Troubleshoot like a human. But he can do it constantly. This next part is pretty crazy. Now we're kind of promoting Terry to a level 2 engineer here. We're gonna give him 2 things that'll make him overpowered. One of those things is fixing things. Whew. Here we go. Now first, this is kind of an annoying thing. Like, I hate this. I don't wanna have to ask Terry to check if my website's up. Come on, Terry, do your job. I want you to check all the time. Let's make that happen right now. To do that, it's simple. We have a new trigger. Right now we have a manual trigger, we have a chat trigger. Let's add a schedule trigger. Go up here, click on the plus sign. Click on add another trigger, and then we got, where did it go? On a schedule, boom. Now Terry, I own you, buddy. You're on the clock 24/7. I want you every 5 minutes checking my website. Let's make some room for him. We'll connect this trigger to Terry. Can I change the way Terry looks? No, They should really add that to n8n. That would really just be the extra oomph to really zhuzh it up, you know? Stupid. Now doing this is actually gonna break a few things. So watch. I'm gonna execute my trigger, execute workflow. Boom! And it's like, whoa, what are you talking about? You can't do this. Terry's brain is fried. Let's fix that. There are two things blowing him up here. First, he's expecting a chat message telling him what to do. That initial, hey Terry, check if the website is up. It's not happening right here with the scheduled trigger, so we have to make it happen artificially. Let's do that. So right here in between scheduled trigger and Terry, click on that plus icon, and we're gonna add a set field node, or edit fields. It's gonna pop open for us. We're gonna add two fields. First will be the prompt. We'll name it prompt, and the value will be whatever we want Terry to do. This is his user message. I'll simply say check if the website is up. And then we'll add one more field. This is the second thing tripping up Terry. It's the chat ID or session ID. We'll call it chat ID. Chat ID, just like this. And we'll put a value in. Let's just say Terry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, those are set. Now we have to tell Terry about these new things. Click out of that, go to Terry. And notice here in Terry's config, the prompt for the user message was tied to that chat input. We don't want that. We want the schedule. So let's back out for a sec, go back to edit fields. Let's execute that step so it actually produces data Terry can look at. Get back into Terry. And for this chat message, if we drop down the edit fields over here on the left, we want it to be that prompt right here. So we're gonna change the source for prompt from connected chat trigger node to define below. And then we'll drag over our prompt, whoop, right there. So now whatever we set in that prompt is gonna show up here as Terry's user prompt. Cool, but what about this chat ID? What are we doing with that? Well, if we go to our simple memory right here, Terry's little short-term memory, double click that. It will remember conversations, but based on ID. Again, this ID was tied to the chat node, but we're not gonna use that. So we have to set that manually. We'll change it from connected chat trigger node to define below. And here I'm gonna type it in manually. It'll be opening brackets, $JSON.chatID. And look, it even kind of filled in right there for us. And that's it. Cool. So Terry should be good now to have this trigger scheduled. Ready, set, execute workflow. Boom. And he's working fine, no errors. And we can check his work down here. If we click on the last OpenAI chat model log down here, it'll show us what he would have told us in a chat message. Perfect. Well, actually, not so perfect. We're kind of moving away from the chat message. In fact, let's delete it. Goodbye, chat message. We're now more focused on the scheduled trigger. I'm not gonna micromanage you, Terry, you do it yourself. But how is Terry gonna tell us how the website's doing? When Terry is done checking all these things, he's going to output all that stuff he would have normally told us to the next step. That next step needs to come to us. Let's make that happen. I'm gonna click on the plus icon right here, and I'm gonna search for Telegram. Now, this is the example I'm going for right now. Telegram is a chat app. You can use Slack if you wanted to, or Discord. You got options. Essentially, Terry's gonna yell at us and tell us, hey, here's what's going on. I'll choose Telegram and say the action will be, gosh, there's so many actions. Just send me a stinking chat, where's it at? Oh, send a text message, there we go. Now, like every node that connects to an external service, you'll often need a credential. I'll select mine, but I don't have one. Let's create one. Now, depending on the chat app you select, Slack, Telegram, Discord, they're gonna have different ways to set this up. I'm not gonna detail it right here, but I will have a document below. And also, if you click on open documents, they'll give you some help. Like Telegram involves chatting with the bot father. So I went through the setup, let's see if it works. Test. Awesome, there's my message. Now we don't want the output to be test. We want it to be what Terry says to us. So I'll take the output of our agent and put that right here in text. So now, let's step out of here real quick. With my send a message as the last in line here, or the end of the line, let's trigger Terry. Do your work, Terry. Boom, message sent, there's our report. Okay, that's pretty cool, but you know, also, if Terry's gonna be checking this every 5 minutes, I don't want him to tell me if there's nothing wrong. Such a noob mistake, Terry. Come on, new guy. Only tell me if there's something wrong, dude. Let's teach him, let's show him how to do it. And this is what makes n8n so powerful. Watch this. It's a thing called structured output. Because right now we need some logic right here to determine if a message should be sent to us. So we'll start here. Click on Terry, double click Terry. Notice we have an option that says require specific output format. Let's click on that. Let's see what happens. Boom, nothing. Let's click out of Terry. But notice there's a new guy floating around, or actually not a new guy, a new little connector sticking out of him. He's got an output parser with nothing attached. Let's attach one. Click on plus sign. And for this, we're gonna click on structured output parser. And it opens something up for us. And it seems kind of weird, right? Like what's happening here? Generate from JSON example, then it has like California, Los Angeles. Essentially what it's enabling us to do is have Terry respond to us in a way we always want to be responded to. For example, we could do this. Again, I'll have everything in the description below. I'm gonna remove all this San Diego business and paste in this. With this, we're telling Terry, when you send us a message after you check the website, I want you to tell us in this nice clean JSON if the website's up or not. I want you to output a Boolean true or false. Don't tell me a story, just say true or false. Now, I want to give you the option to tell me a story. That's what the message field is for. Send me a message. Let's test it out. Let's jump out of there. Notice how the output parser is just like another little thing hanging off here like a tool. Let's test Terry once more. Okay, let's go check our message. Oh, you know what we forgot? Look at this. It's like object. What is that? We gotta change how our message is sent. Let's go into our Telegram here real quick. We gotta change our text box here. Let's remove that JSON.output. And we need to actually add these individual fields. And that's the power of the structured data. Notice how it's like one item, false. One item, the message. So we'll say website up. And we'll put the result, which would be true or false. And then we'll say, I don't know, just message. And we'll put the message content right there. Okay, now let's try it again. There we go. Okay, we got our message. Let's check it out. That's better. Website up, false. Message, whatever it wants to tell us. Now, why is that important? Because we can do this. We can now filter what's being sent to us and what isn't. Right in between Terry and our Telegram message sent, we're gonna add a new node. Click on the plus sign right there. And we're gonna search for if. Just the if, add the if, and it opens up for us here. We're gonna grab the website up field and put it right here in the first value. We're then gonna change the logic right here in the middle from is equal to Boolean is true. So let's get out of there real quick. And notice coming out of our if node here is a true path and a false path. The logic right now is if the website is up, then it'll go down the true path. If the website is down, it should go down the false path. And that should be all we really care about, right? So I'm going to actually put the message on the false path because that's gonna tell us when it's down. Let's test it out. Boom, we got our message. And notice the path it took. It went down the false path. Let's look at our output, or the input the if box received. See, it got the false, it evaluated it, sent it down the false branch. Let's bring that website back up. We'll do docker start website. Let's see what happens when it is up and all good to go. Ready, Terry, go. Boom. Terry noticed, hey, the website's up. Should I tell my boss? Should I tell Chuck? No, Terry, you're learning. You went down the true path and that goes nowhere. We don't get notified. That's the power of the structured output. It's so cool. Okay, cool. Terry's on his own. He's checking the website by himself. He's visiting the website. He's running Docker commands. Not too bad for a first day. I'm feeling kind of confident with Terry. What do you say we let him fix the website? This is where so many things unlock. And what's crazy is all we have to do is change his prompt just a little bit for him to fix it. Let's do it. Again, everything will be below. Let's jump into Terry's prompt here. Change it up. And everything is pretty much the same except for two things. We're saying if the website's down, go ahead and try to start it up. Run the docker container start website command. Actually, it could just be docker start website. And then we're telling him, hey, once you start it, go verify once more. Try to visit the website and tell us if it's up. And then give us our report. What happened? Let's try it out. This is gonna be crazy. Actually, let's make the website go down first. Docker stop website. So website is down. If I try to visit it real quick, the human test says no. Let's run Terry. Again, Terry will be doing this every 5 minutes. Ready, set, go. Terry's thinking. Terry's working. He's running commands. He's being, oh, look at that. Okay, so it went down the true path, which means the website was up. Let's see his last message. Initially, the website was down with connection refused. I restarted the container successfully. After restart, the website responded correctly with the expected content. Therefore, the website is now operational. Are you kidding me right now? Terry, while this is a simple example, I know, Terry monitored an issue. He troubleshooted an issue. He fixed an issue. If Terry can be taught to do that, what else can Terry be taught to do? That felt like a tongue twister. 10 times fast. But let's get real here. Terry, he did a good job, but he's on rails. He fixed a well-documented issue. Like we told him exactly how to fix this thing when he encounters it. What if we give him something he's never seen before? Can he solve it? Let's see. I'm gonna throw something nasty his way and see what he can do. We're being pretty mean to Terry on his first day. Oh well. Let's introduce a port conflict issue. Let's see how Terry does troubleshooting something he's never seen before. So let's go to our terminal here, type in docker ps, make sure our container is running. It is, there it is. Let's change that. Let's say docker stop website. Now Terry knows how to fix that, but I bet he doesn't know how to fix this. We're gonna run a Python server with this command here, python3-m http.server port 8090. Just run that command, boom. What that's gonna do is run a web server, just a quick one on that same port, but it's not our site. And if Terry tries to spin up that container, there's gonna be a port conflict and it won't happen. How's Terry gonna deal with that? Let's see. Terry, let's see what you stinking got. Ready, set, go. Oh, we got the message. It means he failed. Let's see. Website's down. He tried to restart the container. Didn't work. Now, I'm actually kind of proud of Terry because he did exactly what he knew how to do and nothing more. That's what you expect from a lower level engineer. You don't want them getting too crazy. But now I want Terry to get crazy. I want him to figure this out for me. I don't want to sit here and troubleshoot this. I want him to. Let's give Terry some more power. And it's kind of scary easy to do this. Watch. It's just going to be a simple prompt change. I'll simply tell Terry he can do whatever he needs to do to bring this website up. No more limits on his commands. So notice this prompt is kind of thin. The differences here are if the website is not up, use the CLI tool to troubleshoot the issue. Once you figure out the issue, you can apply whatever fix you need to bring that container up and fix the website. Also, we gave him a bit of context too, so no longer is he just like, oh, website, I'm gonna follow instructions. Let's tell him where he's at. Let's tell him we're running a website in a Docker container. It's on this port, so he's not troubleshooting blind, he's got documentation. Let's see what he can do. I'm so curious if he can solve it. Okay, let's make sure our Python server's still running. It is. Container's down. Terry, let's see what you got, buddy. Dude, he's going. Oh, problem. So we run into a problem here, obviously. Too many iterations. Notice he ran that Docker tool like 9 times. I think the limit is 10 by default. And also notice one thing here. I need to change the tool name. So let's change it to CLI tool because I told Terry in his prompt, use the CLI tool. Now let's describe it. Use this tool to run commands on this server running our website for troubleshooting purposes. All right, Python server's running. Let's see if Terry can do this. And actually, I want to change Terry's user message too, because right now it just says in our user prompt, check if the website is up. I'm going to tell him, monitor this website. If it's down, fix it. Simple. Let's see what we got. Here we go, Terry. Can you fix it? With it being kind of ambiguous. He's going. He's running tools. He's sweating. His first real test. Ooh, he's thinking there. What did he run? Oh no! Terry! You stopped yourself! That's a problem. He stopped the container that's running him. Let's see. Yeah, Trafic is done. What's it called? Let's start it up again. Okay, we started up again. Now let's try to access stuff. Terry, you broke yourself, dude. That right there brings us to one of the main problems I have with letting AI do anything on my network. I would have stopped Terry from doing that, but I didn't know. But I still want him to try and troubleshoot things. I want him to work, but I want to be in the loop. And this is called human in the loop. It's what we're gonna implement right now. And we're gonna solve 2 problems actually. First, I'm gonna figure out why he was trying to stop himself and trying to fix this container. And second, let's be able to stop him when he tries. Now, how human in the loop works is very similar to our message here we received from Telegram. But instead, we're gonna have the opportunity to approve a message. So Terry will go, I'm about to run a command. I need permission from my boss first. He's gonna send it to us, we click approve, and then he can continue working. This involves 2 steps. First, set up human in the loop. 2, tell Terry about it. Tell Terry his new rules. And then kind of a side note, like how we'd fix that issue where he was trying to destroy himself. That would just be a better prompt, better documentation. Like, don't stop these containers, they are running you. If there's a port conflict, we can instruct him to look for port conflicts and how he might find those. Actually, I'm curious, if we gave Terry a smarter brain, let's do a smarter GPT model, like 4.1. That was 4.1 mini, let's do full 4.1 real quick. All right, smarter Terry, see what you got. Uh-oh, I think smarter Terry did it. Let's go see. Website up is true. Let's go look. Yeah, it is, he did it. Oh, it found the Python 3 process and it did it. Good job, smarter Terry. But see, it's that reason, like it's inconsistent. We wanna be in control. We wanna have that human in the loop. Let's make it happen right now. So let's add a new node, top right here. And we're gonna use what's called human in the loop. It's actually right there. It's a main category. Click on that. And they're gonna show us a bunch of messaging apps like we've seen before. We'll choose Telegram. And this is just gonna be a regular Telegram node with a different operation. The other one was like send message. Now we're send and wait for response. We're gonna have the opportunity to approve something. And notice how the response type is approval versus, let's see what other options we have. Free text, we could like respond back with free text. It's still a wait for response situation or a custom form. All we need is approval right now. I'm gonna add back in my chat ID from the Telegram setup. I'll use that same channel we're using. But then there's a few things we have to wire up here to make sure this works. First, Terry's gonna have to know when to seek approval. How do we do that? Well, we tell him, it's a prompt. I got one right here. Let's change it up. Notice it says right here, critical permission issues. You must request explicit approval before running any commands that could modify the system. I don't care if he runs a Docker PS or if he checks any logs, I don't care about that. Anything that will change the system, I care about. And we give a few examples here. Giving examples to AI is very important. When in doubt, ask first. One of the main things we're changing is down here at the bottom, and that's his structured output. We already had him telling us before, like, hey, is the website up, true or false? And then send us a message about what you did. We're gonna add a few more here to help us control the flow of things. Like, hey, did you apply a fix, true or false? Or hey, do you need approval for this command, true or false? What are the commands you're requesting? We can tell him to tell us that. Now notice I'm actually adding it to the prompt now because it's a bit more involved. He might figure it out by himself, but I like to explicitly tell him what he's supposed to do right here in the prompt. And then we'll take the same stuff here and add it to our output parser. So whereas before we only had 2 things he's telling us, we're gonna change that to all of this, making sure it's all proper JSON with no errors here. Now I'm gonna test the output. So I'm actually gonna delete the line going out here and just see if he outputs properly before he does anything. I'm actually gonna break things again. Run our Python web server, run Terry. Let's see if he actually runs these commands first of all. He shouldn't do it. He should ask for permission first. Come on, Terry, don't be a dummy. Okay, cool, let's see what he did. Perfect, website's down. Here's the message. Applied fix, false, needs approval, true. Here's the commands he's requesting. He wants to kill that process and start up the website. That's perfect. But now we need that logic to play out and for us to approve it. So I'm gonna add another if node here. I'll drag him over here, connect him up, jump into the if, and say if needs approval. I'll drag that over to the first value. Boolean is true. Then we're gonna do, off the true branch, our approval message. So actually real quick, I'm going to jump into our agent and pen this data so we don't have to run him again. Let's go into our if and run that. It's gonna pass it forward, go down the true branch. Perfect, that worked. And then here for the approval, we're gonna say website status, or website up, false, message, needs approval, and finally commands requested. So now that message will be sent to us, but then we still have a problem here. When we respond to that message, it's gonna go nowhere. So we have to actually send him back to the agent. We have to create the loop ourselves. So I'm gonna grab this and put it all the way back over to Terry. And it's kind of messy and weird, but you can see what's happening. Terry's gonna ask for approval. We're gonna approve it, and it's gonna be sent back to him. But one more problem we have to solve. Right here, the only thing being sent is an approve message. And here's why that's a problem. When it arrives at Terry with a simple approve, Terry's gonna be like, okay, what are they talking about? Let me check my simple memory to see if that's a current chat I'm working on. He can't, because he has no chat ID to reference. We need to not just send the approve message, we also need to send the chat ID we were working with. So he knows like, oh, you're talking about those commands. Okay, I'm on the same page now. That's gonna be a simple set. So right here between Telegram message and Terry, we're gonna add a new node. The set or edit fields, notice how it's sitting right in between us here. And let's actually test the Telegram real quick. I'm gonna execute it so we have some data. Cool, I got it. Look, there's the message. Needs approval, true. I'll click on approve. It's gonna open up a web page. Cool, got it, thanks. If we go to n8n, boom, it sends it across approved, true. So now in the edit fields, we're gonna drag over the approved field, and we'll actually change the data a bit. I'm gonna rename it to prompt, because that's what Terry's looking for when he receives any information on this side. The user message will be json.prompt. So we're gonna set that to prompt. And then for the data type, we're gonna change from Boolean to string. And then finally, we'll set one more thing. Back in our earlier edit fields, where we were originally setting our chat ID, we're just gonna drag this over here to set the chat ID, and that's it. So what's happening here? Terry's gonna go, oh, I have commands to run. I'm setting needs approval to true. That's gonna go down the true branch, and it's gonna be sent to us. We're gonna have the option to approve those commands. If approved, it's gonna say, oh, approved message. That's gonna go to our set fields node. This node is gonna go, oh, okay, let me prep this message for Terry because Terry needs this in a format he can understand. We're gonna tell him the message is approved, and we're gonna tell him the chat ID. That way Terry has the context of what we're talking about. Let's test it out. Currently our website is still down. Let's trigger Terry, and we'll connect up our false path. So when it doesn't need approval, we'll go to this if statement, which will only notify us when the website is down. Let's see if Terry can do this. Ready, set, go. Okay, he's asking a permission. He wants to do the kill and Docker start. Let's approve it, buddy. Good job, I approve. Let's see what happens. Okay, he's running the stuff. Okay, there's the flow. Did you see it happen? It was fast. Actually, let's see the message he outputted first. This is the final one, website up true. The Python process was terminated. I started the Docker container website, fully operational. You applied a fix, true, doesn't need approval. Commands are empty. And then it went through to the true path. Now there's one annoying thing here, and that's we're not being notified when he does fix something. So let's change this up. We're actually gonna remove this if and replace it with a switch. A switch is like an if, but we get more options than just two. So if he applied a fix, I wanna know about it. So I'll say if that's true, it's gonna create a path, which is 0. Send me a message. Also, if the website is down, so website up false, I want you to send me a message. And that's just going out branch 1. Let's duplicate this and have it sent here. And I think that's all we care about. Let's run it one more time to see if it works. Let me unpin my data here. Break our website again. Come on, Terry, you got this, buddy. Okay, he sends me a message wanting approval. Let's approve it. Okay, we got a message. Website up true. Website is fully operational. That's perfect. Look what we just did here. Terry can now identify problems, troubleshoot a problem, and fix the problems, but only if we approve it. We get a message on our phone saying, oh, problems. Yeah, you can run those commands. Boom, he finishes the job and then tells us when it's done. Again, I know this is a simple example, but I wanted you to be able to follow along, and are you seeing the power of this? If you're like me, you're bursting with ideas. Like imagine if we connected Terry to our actual Homelab, to everything we have, UniFi, Plex, our NAS. What do you say we do that right now? Yeah, let's do that. Now so far, Terry's been playing in a sandbox, going through the tutorial levels. Let's change that. Let's give him access to real tools in my Homelab, in my business. Kind of scary, but I think he's ready for it. I trust him, kind of. Now right now he does have his head in the clouds, meaning he's in hosting your cloud and he can't access my Homelab stuff right now. I'm gonna use Twingate to change that real quick. I'll just run a simple Twingate headless client and run just a few commands on the hosting or VPS to get it up and running. And by few, I mean 2. And then I'll give it access to my network. Let me see if I can ping my UniFi gateway here, my dream machine, which is my router. Yep, there it is, we got access. And that's the first thing I want to control, is my network. Let's give Terry access to that. Again, anything with a CLI or API, you can pretty much control with Terry. For UniFi, we'll do the UniFi API. So I'm gonna add a new HTTP request tool, create a new API key. I'll quickly add in all this stuff. I'm not gonna show you step by step unless you wanna see that in another video, because I can't show every service. Now let's give Terry a new persona. Let's make him a network engineer. We'll set up a new schedule trigger, a new edit fields, connect all that up, and we'll have him do something like, I don't know, identify the top 5 bandwidth hogs on the network right now. And then we'll give him a system prompt too, right here, telling him how to use the UniFi API, which by the way, I just grabbed this from the website. I had AI summarize it and make it nice. And we'll tell Terry to look at that system prompt. Cool, now let's see what he does. Using the UniFi tool, and then we have all this flow in here that doesn't quite match the network. Hey, we got a message. Oh, there it goes. All right, send us a message, let's see what it says. Oh, cool, it found the top users. And it's totally accurate. Again, simple example, but think about what you could do with that. The troubleshooting you could do. What about Proxmox? Let's add that. Proxmox is fun because they have an API and a CLI, and they're both pretty powerful. So I'll create a new SSH node for Proxmox CLI. Convert that into a sub workflow. Set up a sub workflow. And then add that as a tool to Terry. Things are getting pretty busy around here. That's okay. Terry's just getting all the more powerful. We'll add a new set of triggers and edit fields. We can actually just highlight multiple and duplicate. If the prompt will just say how many VMs are currently running. Let's see if it works. Using the Proxmox tool, we got a message. Currently 3 VMs running. Home Assistant, KeithFam, Docker, and my free IPA server, which is running LDAP. That's a whole other video coming out. But think about that. Anything you can do in the CLI, including creating virtual machines, deleting them, stopping them, restarting, whatever you gotta do, you can have Terry do that. Walk through a flow and teach him. What about Plex? Let's do that. We'll just say, is anyone watching anything right now? And this will be using the Plex API. Let's watch something so we can find it. And this is my favorite movie, by the way. All right, let's test it out. All right, let's see what we got. One active stream. Keith is watching The Mummy, 1999. Yes, look at all that info it gives me. All right, let's go stop that. Great actor, love him. I could keep going, but we don't have time right now, but like my NAS. I've got one here in my studio running Ceph on my 45 drive server. You guys have seen that. I've got a ZimaCube Pro running at my house. This can all be accessed via CLI. Terry can control everything. Now, similar to the first video, I'm showing you all this just to maybe start sparking those ideas. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. Like, I'm not providing a full IT blueprint. Here's Terry fully configured. No, no, no. I'm showing you what Terry can do, what's possible. You are gonna go through and do this. Now think about this. This is gonna make you so much better. You're having to reverse engineer how you would troubleshoot things. You're having to think about how your lab or your network or your business network is actually put together so you can describe it properly to an AI agent, Terry. So not only will you come out with something amazing that will save you time, hopefully, and stress, you're gonna be better from this. You're gonna know so much more. And also, notice here, like we're doing a bunch of scheduled triggers, we're chatting with Terry. You don't have to throw out everything you have right now. Maybe you already have SolarWinds or Uptime Kuma. You can have those things work with Terry. Like maybe when Uptime Kuma detects that something is down your website. Normally it would just say, it's down, fix it. But maybe he'll kick off a webhook that goes to Terry who can receive that and Terry can troubleshoot and fix it. So whatever monitoring tool you have, Terry can be connected to that to help you. And it's okay, you may not want Terry fixing things for you right away. Let him troubleshoot. Let him dig through logs. Just think about what you can do with this tool. This is crazy. Whew, I'm getting a little too excited. So here we are. Conclusion of this video, look at what we stinking built. This is a lot from where we first started, especially from the first video with baby Terry. Terry is now an IT wizard. He can monitor stuff, he can troubleshoot, he can even fix things. Please comment below and tell me if you built your own Terry. And also we set up approvals. Like that's a pretty amazing thing. Putting yourself, the human, in the loop. That's people's biggest fears right now with AI. It's like, I don't know what it's doing, man. I can't control it. Like, fine. Put yourself in the middle. Put in guardrails. And please, become crazier than what I've done here. You could have a much more strict approval process, stricter guardrails. But beyond all that, if you're like me, your mind has got to be exploding with ideas. What can you do with this? Build something right now. Do something simple. Solve one problem. Let Terry help you troubleshoot one thing. Comment below what that is. And also, tell me if you've done something crazier than this. I want to know. But hold on a second. We have a problem here. Terry, he's a little stressed out. We've given him too much to do. I mean, look at all this. We've had to give him like 4 different personas. We have one guy managing our entire IT infrastructure when we really should have specialized people. So there's actually 3 glaring problems I see. First, Terry needs help. We're gonna hire Terry some help. In fact, Terry's getting a promotion, CTO, because he's gonna be managing a network engineer, a storage engineer, a Linux admin. We're gonna give him sub-agents that he can manage. 2, notice that we don't really have our network documented well. Any good Homelab or IT infrastructure is gonna have a lot going on. This, I have not even scratched the surface. Terry has no idea yet, and it's still pretty messy. We need a good way to create documentation, have it centralized, and make it available to Terry and our future agents to be able to access easily. We wanna maintain the state of our IT network. So like, hey, here's how it looks. Agents, our IT team, if you ever change anything, update it. Or hey, be aware of what's going on in our network before you change anything so you know it doesn't break anything. And then 3, we need a help desk because sometimes Terry and team are not gonna always catch something. Sometimes it's the user, my editors, my family. They are the ones who first identify an issue and they're usually calling me. I want them to talk to a help desk. We need a help desk. Or even like submit a ticket and our AI agents can handle that too. We're gonna accomplish all of that in the next video. I'll see you there. Hey, you're still here. There's something new I'm wanting to start with my videos, and that's I want to pray over you. Now, I know that sounds weird, and if you're immediately like, no, that's fine. Turn it off. I'm only gonna do this at the end of my videos. But if you do wanna stick around, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna pray for you. Pray for your career, pray for this thing you're learning right now to help you understand it and take it and use it. That's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and start. God, I thank you for whoever is watching right now. I thank you that they're part of my team, my audience, and that they are excited about IT and their career. Lord, I ask that you bless their life, that as they watch this video, that their mind would just erupt with ideas, that this would propel them forward to help them gain skills they can put on their resume, and that will help them to either get a job or get a new job or just make themselves more valuable at their current job. Lord, give them fulfillment and joy in what they're doing. And whatever fear they have right now, the job market, any insecurities, any imposter syndrome, Lord, I ask that that would just melt away from them right now. And Lord, while they may be getting a lot of fulfillment through IT in their careers, I ask that they would come to know you, who you are, Jesus, and have a relationship with you. And if they're doubting or questioning or just having a rough time, just be there with them, God. And I ask that you bless their families. I pray favor over their families, which is probably their why for doing any of this. Let their families prosper and grow and be blessed through the work they're doing in IT and through the skills they're learning through school, through my videos, and whatever they're doing, Lord. We thank you, Jesus, for everything. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Anyways, I know that's probably kind of weird to be seeing this at the end of my video, but I'm a man of faith. It's who I am. If you're ever wondering why I am the way I am, it's because of Jesus. Anyways, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Let their families prosper and grow and be blessed through the work they're doing in IT and through the skills they're learning through school, through my videos, and whatever they're doing, Lord. We thank you, Jesus, for everything. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Anyways, I know that's probably kind of weird to be seeing this at the end of my video, but I'm a man of faith. It's who I am. If you're ever wondering why I am the way I am, it's because of Jesus. Anyways, that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you next time.